weekly Bhakti Vaibhav classes. And last week we were discussing from chapter 5, wherein all the 24 elements which were manifested from Pradhana being launched by Mahavishnu upon it, they all suddenly, by the will of the Lord, assumed their physical forms and then begins to offer prayers to Supreme Lord with the complete understanding of Tattva. So in the initial few verses, they actually talk about some important physical philosophical aspects, and at the end, they present their request to empower, to attain the empowerment by the Lord, so that they can serve the Lord in an appropriate way. That was the whole idea. So last week we also saw a couple of verses wherein they were saying that Namamate Deva Padaravindam Prapanna Tapopa Shamata Patram Yenmulaketa Yatayonja Soru Samsara Dukkam Bahirakshatanti. So basically, your lotus feet are like the umbrella which can protect one from the summer heat, the tapatraya of summer heat. And not only protect, taking shelter of your lotus feet can completely uproot from the very root the cause of the material existence. So that they have said, okay, taking shelter of your lotus feet is cause of relief from the material misery and also freedom from material existence. Then how to take shelter of your lotus feet? There are two ways. Some people take shelter of Ganga, which has emanated from your lotus feet and flowing all over the universe, and then come to your lotus feet. And other people take shelter of the Vedic literatures, which are which came out from the mouth of your lotus face. So then, hearing the Vedas, trying to understand the source of the Veda, they come to you, and then they understand that they need to take shelter of your lotus feet. They take shelter of your lotus feet. So there are two general paths being followed by majority of people. But there is a third section of people who directly take shelter of your lotus feet. They are called devotees. So the devotees actually directly take shelter of your lotus feet. So that is mentioned in the 42nd verse. Yes, Shraddhaya Shrutavatya cha Bhaktya Samrijyamane Hrudayavadaya Jnanena Vairagya Balena Dhira Vijru Vrajema Tattengiri Saroja Pitam. So we, following the footsteps of the great devotees, take shelter of your lotus feet. Realizing those feet in a pure heart by bhakti, heard with faith through the mouth of Guru, by attaining realization of that sweetness, which give strong disgust from the material world, people become wise. The third category of people are those who hear from take shelter of Guru, hear from Guru the importance of taking shelter of your lotus feet, and having taken shelter of your lotus feet, they experience the sweetness of your lotus feet, and then they develop disgust from the material existence very easily. Param drishtva nivartate. Very easily. Bhakti para isha anubhava virakti. They take shelter of Guru. They hear from Guru about how to practice what is bhakti and how to practice bhakti. When they practice bhakti, they will have para isha anubhava. They experience the nectar of your lotus feet. When they experience the nectar of your lotus feet, there will be virakti, detachment from everything that is material. So this is what happens in your wonderful devotees. So this is how various people in various ways come to your lotus feet. This has been stated in the verses which we have covered. And today we'll continue from text number 43 onwards. Text number 43. Someone can unmute and repeat after me. Vishwasya janma sthiti samyamarte
विश्वस्वजन्मस्थिति संयमार्थे
कृतावतारस्य पदाम्बुजं ते
कृतावतारस्य पदाम्बुजं ते
व्रजेम सर्वे शरणं यदीशा
व्रजेम सर्वे शरणं यदीशा
मृतं प्रयच्छति अभयं स्वपुंसाम्
मृतं प्रयच्छति अभयं स्वपुंसाम्. O Lord, you assume incarnation for the creation, maintenance, and dissolution of cosmic manifestation. And therefore, we all take shelter of your lotus feet because they always award remembrance and coverage to your devotees.
O Lord, Vrajema Sarve Sharanam. Sarve Vrajema Sharanam. We all take shelter of your lotus feet. You take forms of different avatars. Krita avatarasya. So the Supreme Lord, they are taking shelter of shelter of the lotus feet of Supreme Lord, who takes unlimited avatars. For what purposes? For creating, maintaining, and destroying the universe. These are the principal activities of the Supreme Lord. We take shelter of those feet which remembered by devotees give them fearlessness. Abhayam prayachati. It is Lord's lotus feet only gives one fearlessness. The devatas here recollect the mercy of the Lord to the devotees in order to show how easy this prasa bhakti is. Prasa bhakti is nothing but taking shelter of Lord's lotus feet. That's all. One becomes freed from material existence and one can come back to Godhead. There is nothing, there are no stringent rules in the path of bhakti from that way. But in the jnana, there are so many stringent rules, very difficult. Later on in the text number 47, it will be explained that how difficult jnana is in comparison to bhakti. So it's like that. Next, text number 44. यस्सानुबद्धे सति देहगेहे
यत्सानुबन्धे सति देहगेहे
ममाहमिति हूढदुराग्रहाणाम्
ममाहमिति कूढदुराग्रहाणाम्
पुंसां सुदूरं वसतोऽपि पुर्याम्
पुंसां सुदूरं वसतोऽपि पुर्याम्
भजेम तत्ते भगवन् पदाब्जम्
भजेम तत्ते भगवन् पदाब्जम्. O Lord, persons who are entangled by undesirable eagerness for the temporary body and kinsmen, and who are bound by thoughts of mind and I, are unable to see your lotus feet. Although your lotus feet are situated within their own bodies, but let us take shelter of your lotus feet.
Yeah, same thing. Same mood is continuing. We worship your lotus feet, which are hard to attain for men in general, with strong attachment to body, house, and accessories. So, in the previous verse, it was said, Bhakti is easy, nothing, taking shelter of your lotus feet only. But it is very difficult for the people who are strongly attached to one's own body, one's own house, and the accessories, one's own possessions. Thinking of me and mine, always in aham mameti concept. For such kind of people, it is very difficult to take shelter of your lotus feet. Even though you dwell in their in their bodies as the Paramatma. Even though the Lord is situated as Paramatma in the heart of each and every living entity, but for some it is very difficult to take shelter of that Lord because they have attachment for the body, house, and other accessories. Bhakti is hard to attain for unfortunate jivas. The Lord lives. The Lord lives in manifest and in his cities, as such as Madura and Dwarka. So basically, the Lord lives both as a manifest form and unmanifest form in his eternal abodes. As long as his Leela is going on, he is manifesting to everyone. When he winds up his Leela, he enters into Aprakat Leela, unmanifest Leela. So that is understanding. Or the Lord lives in the city of the body. Navadvara Pure Dehi. Ishvara Sarvabhutana Murdesh Arjuna Tishtati. Brahmayan Sarvabhutani Yantra Rudani Maya. So something like that. He is situated in the heart of every living entity. Sarvasa Chaham Risanni Vishto. Something like that. So though Lord is very near to us, but it is very difficult for some who are attached to the things of this world to recognize the Paramatma and to take shelter of that Paramatma. So that is the understanding. Then they further continue. Anvaya sadvrittibirikshibirye
तन्वेहि असद्वितिर्हि अक्षिभिर्ये
parahritantarmanasa paresha
पराहन्तर मनसा परेश
ato na pashyanti urugaya nunam
अथो न पश्यन्ति युरुगाय नूनम्
yette ete padanyasa vilasa lakshmya
एते पदन्यासविलासलक्ष्य. Translation. O great Supreme Lord, often see persons whose internal vision has been too affected by external materialistic activities can't see your lotus feet, but they are seen by your pure devotees, whose one and only aim is to transcendently enjoy your activities. Hare Krishna.
Here they are the devatas are elemental devatas are saying that, O Supreme Lord, O Para Isha, O Lord of everyone, O most praiseworthy Lord, Urugaya, those people whose inner minds are stolen far away by material senses do not see the devotees who have reached success by the wealth of remembering and glorifying your pastimes. So, in the previous verse, it is said that those people who are strongly attached to body, house, and accessories, they cannot recognize the Paramatma dwelling within the core of the heart. Okay, no problem. They are not able to see inside. Can they see outside in front of their eyes? That is also difficult for them because their minds are stolen by the senses to a far distance. Even though their body is there, in front of their body, there are so many devotees, but their minds are taken to a far distant by their senses. Since their mind is not there with them, they can't see the devotees who are they situated in front of them. They can't see how the devotees have perfected their lives and went back home back to Godhead. They will never ever see and understand. How devotees attain perfection? By earning the wealth of remembering the and glorifying the pastimes of the Lord. So yesterday we were discussing yesterday morning Bhagavad Gita 5th chapter. There is one verse, interesting verse. It says that Brahmani adaya karmani sangam tektva karotiya. So it is said that, see, of course, I am a brahmachari, but all of you are grihasthas and all of you are going to office. And at the end of the month, after working hard for whole month, you will get the salary. In Sanskrit, that salary is called adaya. In many of the vernacular languages, it is called adaya. So adaya karmani. All of us perform various activities in order to get some salary, in order to get some wealth at the end of the month. Yes. So then Bhagavad Gita says that, but a devotee should perform all the activities in order to get Brahman as one's wealth. We are interested in accumulating wealth, more and more wealth. Every month we perform activities so that by the end of the month we get salary. Basically, that is the material wealth. But Bhagavad Gita says that we should perform various activities in order to attain the wealth of the Supreme Lord. Brahmani Adaya Karmani means here Brahmani means Brahman, Paramatma and Bhagavan according to one's inclination. So we should perform activities in order to get the wages back in the form of the Supreme Lord. Sangam Tektva Karotya. This is possible only when we perform all our activities without attachment to enjoy the results. And also without the mentality of that I am the doer. There should be no doership mentality, there should be no enjoyership mentality. Then only we can earn Brahman as the wealth, as a return remuneration of all our activities. So that is what is indicated here in today's verse. So here it says that why do those people not take to pure bhakti, which is easy to attain by associating with the many devotees wandering about in this world? So what is the problem? The devotees, okay, they are not able to see Paramatma, fine, but the devotees are moving all around. They are there when now and then they will be coming in association with us. Why it is so difficult to take bhakti? Problem is those whose minds situated in their bodies are carried far off by senses engrossed in material enjoyment, and consequently, definitely they do not see the devotees. Even though the devotees are moving in front of their eyes, but they can't see because their minds have gone too far distant. So in that way, why? Because of their association with the senses. The senses will take the mind to a far distant. The eyes want to see something pleasant. The ears want to hear something pleasant. They'll go here and there. The mind also goes along with them in that way. The devotees possesses an abundance of your enchanting movements. So basically, the devotees understand the wonderful pastimes of your lordship. They constantly hear, describe, remember, contemplate, etc. All these things they do. So in that way, they are expert in that particular act. This means that the devotees are fully satisfied with remembering and singing pleasing stories of your pastimes. The devotees' only happiness is hearing, discussing, and remembering Lord's pastimes. Such a person is called devotee. The meaning is then the materialists do not see the devotees who are on the path characterized by your playful pastimes. Another meaning is that they do not recognize the devotees who are mad with absorption in Lord's pastimes because of their offensive thinking. The people who are strongly attached to their body, their wealth and possessions, being their minds being carried away by their senses, being attached to so many sense objects, does not recognize how the devotees are mad with hearing, discussing, and remembering Krishna Katha. So something like that. Hare Krishna, all of you are following?
Yes, Prabhuji.
Yes,
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 yes.
Prabhuji.
Prabhuji.
So next verse. Panena te deva kata sudhaya.
पानेन ते देव
पानेन ते देव कथा सुधायाः
प्रवृद्ध भक्त्या विशदाशयाये
प्रवृद्ध भक्त्या विशदाशयाये
वैराग्यसारं प्रतिलभ्य बोधम्
वैराग्यसारं प्रतिलभ्य बोधम्
यताञ्जसान्वियोरकुण्ठधिष्ण्यम्
यथाञ्जसन्वीयु अकुण्ठधिक्ष्णम्. Translation by Srila Prabhupada. O Lord, person who because of their serious attitude attain the stage of enlightened devotional service, achieve the complete meaning of renunciation and knowledge, and attain the Vaikuntha Lok in the spiritual sky simply by drinking the nectar of your topics. Hare Krishna.
So what else is the other specialty of devotees? That is mentioned in this verse. O Lord, those materialists who attain strength and realization of the Lord's sweetness by pure bhakti, increased through drinking the nectar of your pastimes, quickly attain Vaikuntha. So here they are giving another positive solution, that even those materialists whose minds are carried away by the senses, which are carried away by the sense objects, if by good chance, by good fortune, if they take shelter of devotees, then by experiencing the sweetness of the Lord's lotus feet, they gain the strength, determination to practice pure bhakti. As a result of that, they will come to your spiritual abode. Even they also, whose minds are carried away by the senses, which are carried away by the sense objects, also when they come in touch with the devotees, when they become attracted to hearing and discussing Krishna Katha, eventually by tasting nectar of your lotus feet with purified hearts, they will come to your spiritual abode. So like that. Just as devotees are very happy from the beginning of practice, the jnanis are full of misery from the beginning of practice. Two verses now speak of this difference between bhakti and jnana. So this verse talks about bhakti. Even while practicing, also devotees are enjoying, because they are hearing Krishna Katha, that is enjoyment. They are eating Krishna Prasad, that is enjoyment. That they are doing kirtan, that is enjoyment. They are taking association of devotees, that is enjoyment. But for jnanis, from the very beginning of their practice, they have a lot of difficulties. That the jnanis will be discussed in the next verse. This verse is talking about devotees. Vairagya Saram, essence of detachment, is the strength achieved beyond merging in Brahman. So the jnanis and yogis are basically they promote the vairagya, the detachment. But the essence of the detachment is attained by the pure devotees. That is attaining Krishna Prema and entering into the spiritual abode of the Supreme Lord. That is Vairagya Saram. One achieves realization from strong bhakti only. If at all one want to realize the Supreme Lord, that is only possible by strong bhakti. Akama sarvakamo mokshakamo udarade tivrena bhakti yogena yajeta purusham para. Tivra bhakti yoga one should execute in order to attain perfection in one's endeavor. So it's like that. Having attained realization of the sweetness of the Lord, one eventually attains Vaikuntha. This is according to Srila Sri Swami. Srila Sri Swami says that having attained, having understood the nectar, having understood what bhakti is all about, consisting of Shravanam, Kirtanam, Smaranam, etc., one slowly tastes the nectar of Lord's lotus feet, and eventually one attains Vaikuntha. So this is about devotees. On the other hand, for the jnanis, they need to work hard. That will be mentioned in the next verse. But by the way, I think this is one of the important verses. This may be there in the exams. You can memorize this. Second verse and this verse. These two verses are important verses. Second, matlab, among the prayers, the second prayer and this prayer. Of course, first prayer also. What was the first prayer? Atapatram. That is also important verse. 39, text number 39. Yeah, text number 39 and text number 46. These two are important. Tata pare chatma samadhi yoga.
तथा परे चात्म समाधि योगा
Balena jitva prakritim balishtam.
बलेन जित्वा प्रकृतिं बलिष्ठम्
Tvamev dhira purusham vishante.
त्वामेव धीरा पुरुषं विशन्ति
Tesham shramasyan natu shrevayate.
तेषां शमास्यान्न तु सेवयाते. Translation: Others who are pacified by means of transcendental self-realization and have conquered over the modes of nature by dint of strong power of knowledge also enter into you, but for them there is much pain, whereas the devotee simply discharge devotional service and thus feels no such pain.
Yeah. Here they say that others desiring only liberation conquer strong material energy by mental concentration, Atma Samadhi Yoga. That means by Jnana and Ashtanga Yogas. Mental concentration means Jnana Yoga and Ashtanga Yoga. And merge with the Lord, attain Sahyuja. Purusham Vishanti. Swam Eva Purusham Vishanti. They enter into you only. They become distressed in order to do this. Whereas by bhakti there is no pain. That means basically there are three category of people: materialists who are after sense gratification, devotees, and jnanis and yogis who are aspiring liberation. So by conquering the strong material energy by samadhi yoga, so basically by performing bhakti mishra yoga, bhakti mishra jnana, they eventually attain Sahyuja Mukti. But while executing their sadhana, they have to go through a lot of difficulties. And some acharyas say that even after entering into Brahman also, they may not be completely blissful. They may not experience full happiness. Even though Brahman is filled with Brahmananda, but like that, they say. Let us see how and why they say. By the practice of jnana, the process making the mind steady, or by Ashtanga Yoga, they enter into you, the Supreme Lord, by finally by attaining Sahyuja Mukti. Thus they attain Sahyuja. But to do this, they become exhausted by great effect. In order to attain Sahyuja, they have to work hard, work hard, work hard. They are completely exhausted. But on the other hand, if they perform bhakti, they do not become fatigued. So it is like that. The devotees experience joy while performing even after perfection. But the jnanis, we don't know what kind of joy they experience after perfection, but certainly while performing, while executing, they actually go through a lot of difficulties. Without bhakti, it is impossible to achieve jnana. What to speak of liberation? Of course, they are actually called as bhakti mishra jnanis. Without the element of bhakti, they can't even practice jnana. What to speak of eternal liberation? That is indicated. Thus, they suffer extremely. For them, only suffering and nothing else remains. This is like beating on empty husk. But on the other hand, if some people just practice jnana only without any element of bhakti, the dry jnana, they can't perfect jnana and they can't even get sahyuja. Their practice of jnana without an element of bhakti is like beating the empty husk. So by beating the empty husk, what one will get? Empty husk means there is rice paddy. The rice grain is separated from the not that. There is rice paddy. The rice grains are already separate from the rice paddy. And what remains, the grass is the dry grass is called husk. So if you beat on the husk, first in order to separate the rice grains from the husk, one need to beat. So the grains are taken out. With the empty husk, if you beat, will the grains come? Because general procedure to separate the grains from the husk is rice paddy is beating. So somebody already beaten it and taken the grains away. But if but on the empty husk, the empty rice paddy, if somebody beats again and again, they will never ever get the rice grains because there are no rice grains. How will they get? So this is a unnecessary painful activity. I mean, they may beat. It is hard work they may do, but the result is zero. So that is like practicing hardcore jnana without any element of bhakti. So like that. By means of bhakti, which is an anga of jnana, they attain sahyuja. So, but if they practice bhakti mishra jnana, that bhakti facilitates their attainment of sahyuja. But in the stage of practice, it is clear that there is great effort in searching out the method of conquering the mind. Even though they are practicing Bhakti Mishra Jnana, but since it is Jnana, they have to go through a lot of hardships. So it is like that. In the state of perfection, they accept merging into the Lord, which is rejected by the devotees who attain prema. On the other hand, the pure devotees who are only interested in attaining Krishna prema, who are only interested in serving the Lord directly, they do not accept Sahajya Mukti. They actually reject Sahajya Mukti. What was the fifth quality of Bhakti? Bhakti manifests 6 qualities. Nectar of Devotion, chapter 1. Kleshagni, Shubhada.
Moksha Lagdakar.
This is Moksha Lagdakar. This quality is Moksha Lagdakar. They make moksha as insignificant. They treat moksha as insignificant, like that, which is the cause of controlling you. Because by attaining Krishna Prema, they will control the Lord himself, like the Vrajavasis do control. So like that. That choice also is only suffering. According to the devotees, the jnanis in liberation also suffer. So devotees go one step ahead. Of course, there is great suffering, great difficulties in the path of jnana. That is true. But according to devotees, Krishna Prema in and controlling the Supreme Lord in the spiritual world is the highest bliss. They say that, the devotees say that even Brahmananda is also suffering because there is no Krishna Prema, there is no direct reciprocation of the Supreme Lord. So in that way, according to the devotee, the jnanis even in liberation suffer. So it is like that. But it should be inferred that the devotees also become tired in serving the Lord. Somebody may say, आप लोग बोल रहे हैं आप जाके उधर सेवा कर रहे हैं इधर हमको एक्सपीरियंस है हम कुछ काम करेगा तो you will feel tired, there also may feel tired. But the devotee say, the verse says that they do not become tired by serving. No devotee becomes tired of serving the Lord. The proof is the experiencers of the bhakti. The proof is the great devotees. Bhaktivinoda Thakur says that happiness and misery in your service, both are happiness only. So it is like that. Nanakirti Prabhu, kindly mute. There are no difficulties for men or women or for persons in any ashrama if they are executing bhakti. But otherwise, if somebody is executing karma, jnana, yoga, there are difficulties anywhere. But even in not having difficulties, there is some sort of pain, for by not attaining service, the devotees suffer greatly. So do you mean that devotees do not have any suffering? No. Devotees also have some suffering. What is that suffering? If they don't have service to Supreme Lord, they suffer. They feel suffering if whenever they do not have an opportunity to serve the Lord. That is their suffering. One should not think that by serving you, the devotees enter into you. For this contradicts the previous verse, which states that the devotees attain you, the abode of no fatigue. The jnanis and yogis enter you, but the devotees enter your abode and serve you in person for the rest of eternity. That is the understanding. This is the explanation. Since kunta means weak, as well the word anviyu, they attain, would be meaningless if one argues that the devotees also merge in the Lord. So if the devotee, somebody says that no, devotees also merge into the Lord, that makes the verses meaningless because the verses clearly say that they will attain your abode. They will swadishnyam, your abode. Anviyur, they enter in your abode, something like that. It is clearly mentioned in many places in the Bhagavatam. So devotees do not attain Sahajya Mukti like the Jnanis and Yogis. They attain Salokya Mukti. That is the understanding. So like that, they have established how Bhakti is simple, how Bhakti is important, how Karma, Jnana, Yoga are difficult, and the essence of Siddhanta they have presented in these verses. Yeah, yes, Prabhu.
Prabhuji, previous slide, in the previous slide, ज्ञानी सर कर्म मिश्र Bhakti Mishra Jnanis, both are different, Prabhuji.
There is nothing like Karma Mishra Jnanis. There is only Bhakti Mishra Jnanis.
Bhakti Mishra Jnanis, हाँ Prabhuji previous slide इसका पहले वाला. Yes, Prabhuji. Without bhakti, it is impossible to achieve jnana or to speak of liberation. They suffer extremely or suffer nothing else remain. This is like beating the empty dust. Actually, Prabhuji, उसका ऊपर वाला पार्ट में है पूछ रहे थे कि वो ज्ञानीस जो है साहित्य मुक्ति ये अचीव करते हैं, बट यहाँ पे ज्ञानीस को कुछ मतलब कुछ भी अचीव नहीं होगा. दोनों का फर्क मतलब कुछ डिफरेंस
नहीं see you don't deal with them. Jnana yogis who practice Bhakti Mishra Jnana, because there is an element of bhakti in their practice, they will attain perfection and attain Sayuja Mukti. But those who are simply practicing jnana without an element of bhakti, they attain nothing. It is like beating the empty rice paddy. See, the rice grains are already separate from the rice paddy. If you beat them, do you get any rice grains?
No problem.
That is like just practicing jnana alone. But beating the rice paddy with the rice grains is like practicing Bhakti Mishra Jnana. Jnana along with Bhakti. Then they will get rice paddy. But if you practice pure Bhakti, you will directly get sweet rice. You don't have to beat the rice paddy and take out the rice grains and remove the rice covering and boil, cook, eat, all those things you don't have to do. You directly get sweet rice. Something like that.
Thank you, Prabhuji.
Hare Krishna, Prabhuji.
Prabhuji.
Prabhuji, is there any example? Can you give how to differentiate the karma without bhakti or bhakti? Means those who are doing karma or jnana, there is no tinge of bhakti. Is there any example, or because it is very difficult to differentiate the karma and jnana without bhakti?
No, it is simple. Somebody is practicing karma, matlab the rules and regulations of the Vedic literatures, thinking that Swarga is the highest goal. The purpose of practicing all these rituals is to enjoy. The only motive is to enjoy. Everyone in this world are meant for my enjoyment. That is the principle of karma. Without the element of bhakti.
But Prabhuji, if he get this swarga, that means he has performed some tinge of bhakti. That way they are getting the result of this karma. And the result of karma is a swarga lok. So that means
wait. See, that is actually called sakama karma. So in that, the tinja bhakti may be there. You may say tinja bhakti is there, but he does not treat Vishnu as the Supreme Lord. He will treat Vishnu as also one of the devatas. हाँ, इंद्रा है, चंद्रा है, वरुण है, विष्णु भी है. So even Vishnu is meant for my enjoyment. It is not bhakti. It becomes devata worship only. Bhakti means nishkama karma yoga. There is no desire for one's own enjoyment. Whatever one does, he offers everything, all the results in the service of the Supreme Lord. Nishkama karma yoga. That is karma mishra, bhakti mishra karma. Nishkama karma yoga means bhakti mishra karma. So without the mixture of bhakti, that becomes sakama karma. When you say sakama karma, you should never say sakama karma yoga. You should only say sakama karma. When there is an element of bhakti in it, we should call it as nishkama karma yoga. Here yoga means bhakti. The element of bhakti. Similarly for jnanis also. The normal jnanis, the Normal jnanis means we can say that atheistic Sankhyites, the atheistic Sankhyites who do not recognize the existence of Bhagavan, and also Mayavadis who do not recognize the existence of Bhagavan, such kind of people can be called as hardcore jnanis. They practice severe tapasya, this, that, in order to attain moksha, but they can't perfect jnana, they can't attain moksha because they have offended the Supreme Lord. On the other hand, the Sankhya yogis, the path presented by Lord Kapila in Bhagavatam 3rd canto, later on we discuss about it. They are called Bhakti Mishra Jnanis. They are practicing Jnana Yoga but mixed with Bhakti. They understand that there is Brahman, there is Paramatma, there is Bhagavan, everything is there. But somehow or other they have developed favoritism towards Brahman and they attain Brahman by the mercy of Bhagavan. They are called Bhakti Mishra Jnanis or Bhakti Mishra Yogis. If they also practice Ashtanga Yoga in order to attain Sahajya Mukti quickly. This is how we have to see the difference. One is
Okay, brother.
recognizing
Thank you very
Bhagavan's existence and considering Lord Vishnu as Bhagavan and performing their karma or jnana or Ashtanga Yoga, and as an offering to Supreme Lord, the results may not be the activities. But others, they consider Bhagavan equal to the devatas, or they do not consider the existence of Bhagavan, but they practice karma, jnana, yoga. Such kind of people are like beating the empty husk. They go nowhere. It is like that.
Okay, thank you, brother.
Hare Krishna, Prabhuji.
Hare Krishna.
Prabhuji, then where we stand,
We are devotees. We are, on the other hand,
yeah,
this is on one side, left hand side, we can say. On the right hand side, there are devotees. Even in devotees, there are varieties are there. Some of the devotees are Karma Mishra Bhaktas. Some of the devotees are Jnana Mishra Bhaktas. Some of the devotees are Yoga Mishra Bhaktas. Some of the devotees are Ananya Bhaktas.
so
Generally,
Prabhuji, what is Jnana Mishra Bhakta?
wait, let me complete. You, sorry?
Okay. I mean to say then, can you give us who is Karma Mrikshna means, and who is Jnana? It was Dhruva Jnana Mishra Bhakta?
Brahmacharis and Grihasthas are Karma Mishra Bhaktas.
Okay.
Vanaprasthas and Sannyasis are Jnana Mishra Bhaktas.
Okay.
And living the life of Gosamis and practicing bhakti like the Gosamis are Ananya Bhaktas.
Okay. Okay.
तो उनका जीवन में कुछ कर्म का नहीं, कुछ ज्ञान का एलिमेंट नहीं, but they are leading a life like that of Gosamis. An example of pronounced Ananya Bhakta is the 6 Gosamis. An example of Grihastha Ananya Bhakta is who is that? Srivas Tagore. Srivas
अमरीश
Tagore.
प्रभु एंड जनक महाराज.
No, उधर तक जाओ मत. Take the recent examples. Srivas Tagore. Srivas Tagore is a Brahmana by birth. Is he doing any Brahmanical activities? Is Varnashrama duties? Is he doing any Varnashrama duties?
No.
So there is no karma, there is no jnana. Grihastha dharma, brahmachari dharma is karma mishra bhakti. Vanaprastha sannyasta ashram dharma is ज्ञान मिश्र भक्ति. तो मैं दोनों नहीं कर रहे. वो तो गृहस्थ है, फैमिली है, बट कुछ काम नहीं कर रहे. उनका भोजन कैसे आ रहे? 3 बार ताली बजा रहे बस हर दिन. 1 2 3 आल्टर के सामने बैठ के 3 बार ताली बजा रहे, उनका भोजन आ रहा है. बट हमको ऐसा नहीं आएगा. If we do the same thing, we can become Ananya Bhaktas.
So Prabhuji, then
how? The altar at 12:30 p.m. and 3 times clap, and you get prasadam for the whole family.
Prabhuji, but then how can we progress from this can we progress from karma mishra bhakti towards ananya bhakti? And this
Why
is
not?
a
Why not?
what we are doing
Work
and
hard
what
till 55 years. Work hard till 55 years, and take care of the children very nicely. Settle them by 55 years, and give the responsibility to them. And retire from household activities. Then you are moving from karma mishra bhakti to jnana mishra bhakti,
okay.
and dedicate all your activities for serving society. Matlab, become a vanaprasthi and sannyasi. Don't have to go to forest, but utilize all your 24 hours in the service of the society, preaching activities, etc. And then after that, at one point of time, retire from all these things and perform Ekanta Bhakti, Ananya Bhakti, like Raghunath Das Goswami.
Okay.
हाँ,
Okay.
बस हो गए.
Okay. Yes, yes, Prabhuji. So we are on path. We are on
हाँ,
right path. What else we are
हाँ.
doing now? Yeah.
Hmm.
Okay, Prabhuji. Thank you.
हरे कृष्ण प्रभु जी।
हाँ, yes.
प्रभु जी आपने कहा हम लोग अभी जो गृहस्थ है वो कर्म मिश्रित भक्त है और जो वानप्रस्थ है और जो सन्यासी है वो ज्ञान मिश्र भक्त है।
Hmm.
बट if we are not doing preaching activity, other than that we are doing so many other activities, that is
No,
gyan.
even we as grahasthas are also teaching activities. I mean to say that, see, when we say karma mishra bhakti and jnana mishra bhakti means, see, vanaprasthis and sannyasi, they don't have to worry about the family maintenance here and going to office, working hard, waiting for the salary. That kind of thing is not there. So we as brahmacharis and grahasthas, we need lot of services. We need to do all these things. So otherwise we cannot be survived. So in that way, I'm saying, we the growers and devotees also doing preaching activity, taking out time and other things also doing, but we devote majority of time for our work. Yes or no?
Yes.
In that way you have to see. But when it comes to vanaprasthi sannyasi, they don't have to worry about their maintenance. Somebody else will maintain them. Yes or no?
Okay. Yeah. Okay.
So
और प्रभु जी
that is
अनन्य
understanding. That's what I'm
भक्ति,
saying.
हाँ,
This is the traditional understanding. This may not be so practical in today's context, but this is the traditional understanding.
ओके एंड प्रभु जी अनन्य भक्ति मीन्स वी हैव टू थिंक ऑफ अवर सेल्फ, हमारे आत्मा का ही कल्याण करना है, हमें और किसी के बारे में नहीं सोचना है। इट इज
No,
अनन्य
ऐसा
भक्ति।
नहीं, किसके बारे में नहीं सोचना, ऐसा नहीं. Ananya Bhakti means, I would say that one is 24/7 engaged in devotional activities. Sevanam, Kirtanam, Vishnu Smaranam, Padasevanam, Archanam, Vandanam, Dasyam, Sakyam, Atmanidam. Complete Anya. There is no thought about any other activities within the purview of material existence with respect to the Varna duties and Ashrama duties. So from that point of view, only Bhakti activities. Ananya Bhakti means executing only Bhakti activities.
अच्छा,
Which includes preaching also. It is not that one should not preach like that. So they is only interested in the preaching activities. For example, even a vanaprastha and sannyasi are also doing preaching activities, but they also need to follow their vanaprastha dharma and sannyas dharma also. उसके लिए भी कुछ ड्यूटीज रहता है.
अच्छा,
जैसे
हाँ,
गृहस्थ
हाँ,
धर्म रहता है ना, बच्चों को
हाँ,
पालन,
हाँ,
उनके
हाँ,
एजुकेशन करना, उनका शादी विवादी करना, वो सबका रिस्पॉन्सिबिलिटी रहता है गृहस्थ को. वैसे
हाँ,
वानप्रस्थ सन्यास को भी कुछ रिस्पॉन्सिबिलिटी रहता है, कुछ रूल्स एंड रेगुलेशन रहता है. Because they are following that, they are termed on this Jnana Mishra Bhaktas. But when it comes to Ananya Bhaktas, even though don't even care for the Vanaprastha duties and Sannyas duties, then what to speak of Brahmacharya and Grahastha duties?
okay.
They are completely immersed in Bhakti activities. Who is this Raghunath Das Goswami? Who is Rupa Goswami? Who is Sanatan Goswami? Is he Vanaprasthi or Sannyasi, Brahmachari, Grahastha? Who is he?
They are sannyasi, na?
No, they
They have left everything. They have left everything
are
and
not sannyasis.
they are, huh?
They
left their,
does not come in the category of Varnashrama.
huh? They left everything and they are working for Lord Krishna only. What they had done, huh?
Even Srila Bhaktivinoda Tagore in his later part of life, he took Babaji Vesh. He did not take sannyas. He did not take Vanaprastha. He is also Ananya Bhakta. See, for our convenience sake, we are actually giving this categorization. Even though while they are working for, even though Srila Bhaktivinoda Tagore working for court, district magistrate, as a magistrate, working for the court, but at the core of the heart is already Ananya Bhakta. But for us to understand, I am giving the categorization. In his later part of the life, when he retired from active involvement in the meditate activities, so we see him as a Ananya Bhakta. That means he is 24/7 is simply engaged in Bhakti activities, which includes preaching, constructing Yogapit temple, and finding out Mahaprabhu Janmasthan, all these things.
Okay. Now clear little bit.
So in that way.
Prabhuji, I got confused. Yes, Prabhuji. Haribol, Prabhuji.
Confusion is the birthright of the soul. No problem.
Prabhuji, in actual mean in this Bhagavad Gita, the Jnani are considered that those who are performing this Niskam Karma Yoga for long time, then their heart become purified, then become eligible for the Jnana Yoga.
Yes,
So
that's what. Nishkama Karma Yoga is practiced by a Grihastha. Bhakti Mishra Jnana Yoga is practiced by a Vanaprastha or Sannyasi. The purification of the heart takes place in the Grihastha order, so that they will take to Vanaprastha or Sannyasa. Without sufficient purification of the heart, without sufficient detachment, one can never ever enter. One does not dare to enter into Vanaprastha or Sannyasa order.
yes.
Vanaprastha and Sannyasa means stringent rules and regulations. Very strict adherence to the rules and regulations. Very difficult. Utna easy nahi.
Prabhuji, that means literally means that the Vanaprastha means those who are Vanaprastha, they have to purify their heart 100%. Then they are eligible for the this Jnana Mishra Bhakta. The Vanaprastha.
Not
Or
Jnana
Sannyasa
Mishra Bhakta, Bhakti Mishra Jnana.
Mishra Jnana. Otherwise, it's very difficult. It is not considered as all the this Vanaprastha or Bhakti Mishra Jnana. Bhakti Mishra Bhakta. It is not considered 100%.
Yes, yes, yes.
Prabhuji.
No, just by entering into Vanaprastha order, one does not become Bhakti Mishra Jnani. But with an intention to practice Bhakti Mishra Jnana, one should enter into Vanaprastha and then practice that sadhana seriously.
Yes. Okay, Prabhuji. Thank you.
This is a traditional process. Traditionally, it is being followed like that. So, in that way. But in the modern context, who is who, we don't know. कौन है ब्रह्मचारी कौन है गृहस्था कौन है वानप्रस्था कौन है externally we may be in that but it's all mixture of all the things are there. Okay, we'll move on. So now finally having stated what bhakti is all about, how jnana and karma are difficult paths, with that now they are telling that okay, this is the essence of the tattva and now we that is okay, but हमको सृजन किया था, हमको सेवा भी दो. They are going to ask for the seva in the next verses. तत्ते वयं लोकशिश्रुक्षयाभ्य
तत्ते वयं लोकशिशुत्रयाभ्य
त्वयानुसृष्टस्त्रिभिरात्मभिस्म
त्वयानुसृष्टास्त्रिभिरात्मभिस्म
सर्वे वियुक्ता स्वविहारतन्त्रम्
सर्वे वियुक्ता सविहारतन्त्रम्
न शक्नुमस्तात् प्रतिहर्तवेते.
न शक्नुमस्तात् प्रतिहर्तवेते. Translation: O original person, we are therefore but yours only. Although we are your creatures, we are born one after another under the influence of three modes of natures, and for this reason we are separated in action. Therefore, after the creation, we could not act wholeheartedly for your transcendental pleasure. Hare Krishna.
So now they are going to ask for a special benediction. O original person, O Adi Purusha, you desiring to carry out the creation of the universe have created us with three natures, Sattva-guna, Rajoguna and Tamoguna. Because we are disunited, we cannot offer you the universe you are playing. With an intention to create the universe, you have created the 24 of us. But we are situated independently. One is there, one is here, one is here, one is here, one is here, like that. We don't know what to do. We don't know how to do also. First of all, we don't know what to do. Second, we don't know how to do. For what purpose you created us? With an intention to create the universe, you created us. So, Since we are not united together, we cannot offer you the universe, your plaything. So this is what they are stating, their present condition. Therefore, we, your servants, not attaining service or suffering, they describe the situation of no service. So in the previous verse, they said that from the very beginning, the karmis and jnanis are going through difficulties. But the devotees, from the very beginning till the end, they always experience bliss only. But they have suffering also. What is their suffering? When they don't have opportunity for service, that is their suffering. So now these elements are saying, the devatas are saying that आपने हमको तो क्रिएट तो किया, कुछ सेवा दिया नहीं, सेवा के बिना हम हैप्पी कैसे रह पाएंगे? So we are in misery. Please give us bliss by giving us some service. That is their request. You have been systematically created. We have been systematically created by you, who desire to create the universes consisting of so many planetary systems with the natures of sattva, rajas, and tamas. Because of having contrasting natures, we are disunited. Because of that, we cannot offer you the created universe, which is your plaything. We individually cannot offer you, cannot manifest the universe and offer you. Because currently we are all studying different papers. Some of us are in Sattva-guna, some of us in Tamoguna, some of us are in Rajoguna. We don't know how to interact with each other. So हम कुछ कर नहीं पा रहे. That is what they are exhibiting their present condition. Then Lord says that, please tell me, how can I fulfill your desires? So what is your desire? And how can I help you to fulfill your desire? Can you please come tell me in detail? Lord Vishnu is asking. Then, so this verse, they will explain what is their desire, what exactly they want to do for the Lord. That will be mentioned in this verse. Yavad balim te jaharama kale.
यावद्बलिं ते जहरामकाले
Yata vayam channamadama yatra.
यथा वयं चानम् अदाम यत्र
यतो भयेषां तयिमे हि लोका.
यतो भयेशं तयिमे हि लोका
बलिं हरन्तो नन्ति अनुहा.
बलिं हरन्तो अनम् अनन्ति अनुहा. Translation: O unborn one, please enlighten us regarding the ways and means by which we can offer you all enjoyable grains and commodities, so that both we and all other living entities in this world can maintain ourselves without disturbance and can easily accumulate the necessities of life both for you and for ourselves.
Yeah, they are telling the exact details what they want to do for the service of the Lord. Oh birthless Lord, oh Aja, we should profusely offer you objects at the appropriate time, because Lord wanted a universe for his pastimes. The pastime means there are so many objects required. They are telling that we will provide you all the objects so that you can perform pastimes. We should eat food. So Vayam Annam Adama Yatra. All the living beings should offer to you and us worthy objects and should eat food without conjuncture. So now there are they are giving the example of food. We should profusely offer you objects at the appropriate time. Basically, we should offer you boga at the appropriate time every day, morning, afternoon, evening, and all. And we should also get to eat food, your prasad. And also all the living entities should offer bhoga to you and to us, and they should eat themselves. So they are telling that we should offer you bhoga, and then we should honor prasad, and all the other living entities should offer bhoga to you and to us, and they should honor prasad. So this is the principal activity in the entire universe. So this should happen. For this, we want to make all the facilities. For this to happen, we want to create the suitable facilities all over the universe. It is like that. Oh birthless Lord, at the appropriate time we should offer you complete articles of worship. Arati paraphernalia, Bhoga paraphernalia, everything we should be able to offer you at the correct time punctuality. Constructing a host of playthings in the form of the material world, composed of men, devatas, and various houses, we should offer it to you. We will construct 14 planetary systems and offer to you. And within them, we will construct the cities, towns, villages, we should offer them to you. In each and every city, town, village, we will construct a temple and offer it to you. And we will construct all the different things like agricultural field, this, that, as an offering to you. It's like the overall, we will create variety as an offering to you. So in that way, being functions of your Maya Shakti, we should eat food. After offering to you, then we will partake in those prasad, in those articles. This means that ordered by the king, the householders, mothers, and elders eat food to full satisfaction for sustenance. All these beings, such as devatas and animals, function for your Jiva Shakti. Functions of your Jiva Shakti should offer objects to you and us, since they are dependent on us and on your Maya Shakti. Since all the living entities, including all the devatas, are all creations of you, and they should offer whatever they have unto you and also unto us, the elemental devatas, and then they should also partake. A systematic universal management principle. Simple. You are the Lord, we are your subordinates, and all the devatas and all other living entities are our subordinates. First, we offer to you and we'll honor. Next, they will offer to you and us, and then they will honor. Simple. Everything is done. They should perform worship in the form of various sacrifices, yoga, and jnana, and eat food. So, what kind of worship they should do? They should perform karma yoga through sacrifices. They should perform jnana yoga. They should perform ashtanga yoga, and then for their maintenance, they should eat food also. They should perform sadhana, and also they should eat food. They should enjoy the results of their respective karmas without conjuncture, such as will the Lord give the results of karma or not? They should receive their results. Give this to us. This is what we desire. Basically, we will create the universe with a systematic procedure in which they execute karma yoga, jnana yoga, ashtanga yoga, and bhakti yoga as an offering unto you. As a result of that, with complete faith that okay, these processes will enable us to experience the results. With that complete faith, they will be able to execute all these activities, and they are survived, and we are survived. So we want to facilitate all these things in this universe. So please empower us to do this. That is the request. The Shruti says, Ta enam abruvam ayatanam na prajanihi yasmin pratishtita annam adama. They say to the Lord, provide us an abode where we can eat food. This is Aitareya Upanishad. All the devatas who have been created, they were requesting the Lord that, my dear Lord, you have created us. Please provide us a place where we can eat for our maintenance. So in that way. That means it is not only just they are asking for eating, but they are asking everything in connection to eating. Eating means maintenance. So in that way. Maintenance means performing activities, performing varnashram duties, and also performing sadhana and offering to the Lord, and also partaking the remnants for one's maintenance. So like that, all these things included. Basically, we want to create the universe which will have all this systematic procedure, so that everyone will do activities in the proper order. So that is the understanding. So they go one step ahead. Why it should be done? Why they want to offer to the Lord and partake the remnants? Why the other living entities are to the Lord and to them and then partake the remnants? Why? The relationship is explained in the next verse. त्वम्नासुराणामसिसान्वयानाम्
सुराना असि स्वायनानाम्
कूटस्थाद्या पुरुषा पुराण
कूटस्थाद्या पुरुष पुराणाम्
त्वं देव शक्त्यां गुणकर्मयोनौ
त्वं देव सत्यां गुणकर्मयोनो
रेतस्वजायां कविमाददेज
रेतस्वजायां कविमानदेजा. You are the original personal founder of all the demigods and the orders of different gradations. Yet you are the oldest and are unchanged. O Lord, you have no source or superior. You have impregnated the external energy with the semen of the total living entities, yet you are unborn. Hare Krishna.
So here they are saying that, O Lord, for us, the 14 devatas who have some power of creation, you are without change, the original cause, the controller, without beginning. You alone bestow the mass of jivas full of consciousness to unborn Maya, who is the womb of gunas and karma. Basically, they are telling that for us, the devatas who have little power of creation, please bestow the ability to do this. So in the previous verse, they have stated what they want to do. And in this verse, they are requesting that please empower us to do what we want to do. So somebody may ask question, why you want to do all these things? Then they say that you alone bestow the mass of jivas full of consciousness to unborn Maya, who is the womb of gunas and prakriti. Because it is you who have impregnated the womb of Maya Devi with unlimited mass of jivas known as Hiranyagarbha. You have impregnated the womb of Maya with unlimited mass of jivas, the Hiranyagarbha. Now they need to come out of the garbha, come out of the womb, and they need to get the body, and they need to get an activity to do, and they need a place to stay. They need to perform certain activities, and we will take the responsibility of facilitating all these things. So please empower us to do this. That is the request they are having it now in this verse. Anvaya means to follow after or the cause. For us who are endowed with little causal power, you are without change. You are the first person, like Chintamani stone. You are the cause. You are the controller. You are the ancient one without beginning. Though we may have little bit creative potency, but you are the ultimate creator. You are the original source of all of us. You are the master, and you are the first Purusha. But still, whatever it is, even though we are endowed with little Shakti, but we are not able to do anything. We need your special empowerment so that we can do what we want to do. For whose sake? Because it is you only impregnated the womb of Maya with mass of jivas. We need to take care of their maintenance. O Lord, you give your semen in the form of the mass of jivas, which are knowledge to Maya. So the womb composed, knowledge to Maya means who are all jivatmas, who are all chitkanas. You have impregnated them in the womb of Maya Devi. To the womb composed of gunas like Sattva-guna, Rajoguna, Tamoguna, with karma and with Mahatattva, etc. You are to be served like a father by us and all the other jivas. So please give us the responsibility of facilitating this service. Without the facilities, no one can be able to serve the Lord, who is like our Father. We need all the facilities. So it is the devatas of these elements will take the responsibility of facilitating everything that is required for us to serve the Supreme Lord. So that's what they are requesting for the empowerment in this world, in this verse. Because it is the Lord who can empower anyone. Because the Lord is without change. Because Lord is the original controller. Lord is the original person, the Purana. He has no source. So he can award the empowerment to one, with which they can facilitate the worship of the Lord within the entire universe. Finally, they say same thing in clear-cut words in this verse. ततो वयं मत्प्रमुखाय दर्ते
ततो वयं मत्प्रमुखाय दर्थे
बभूविमात्मन् करवाम किं ते
बभूविमात्मन् करवाम किं ते
त्वं न स्वचक्षुपरिदेहि शक्त्या
त्वं न स्वचक्षुः परिदेहि शक्त्या
देव क्रियार्थे यदनुग्रहाणाम्
देव क्रियार्थे यदनुग्रहाणाम्. Translation: O Supreme Self, please give us, who are created in the beginning from the Mahat Tattva, the total cosmic energy, your kind directions on how we shall act. Kindly award us your perfect knowledge and potency so that we can render you service in the different departments of subsequent creation. Hare Krishna.
Yeah. O Supreme Soul, O Paramatma, please give us, headed by Mahatattva. We, the 14 devatas, the devatas of Mahatattva, Ahankara, mind, intelligence, 5 Jnanendriyas and 5 Karmendriyas. There are 14 devatas. So please give us, who have arisen for creation, the order. What kind of order? The order of what to do. So please empower us or please instruct us what to do and then how to do also. O Lord, give to us who need your mercy to act, your knowledge and power for carrying out your desired action. Basically, they are asking two things. Please tell us what to do and please tell us how to do. And also empower us to do that activity without any failure. 3 things we can say. That is clearly they are stating at the end. O Lord, how are we, the elements headed by Mahatattva, to carry out your creation? Please tell us. Give us your eyes along with the power. Eyes means what we are supposed to do. Let us see in advance only. When we see something, what we want to, what we are supposed to do, we can do it easily. And also the power to do it. It is not only the information is not enough. We also need to have that skill to do something. So that also, that power also give us your knowledge, your eyes for creating the universe and give us the power to do it. Only with your knowledge and power and your power can we create. O Lord, we who need your mercy in order to create desire that we should happily do service as instructed by you. This is also important thing. We want to do service happily and as instructed by you and nothing else. We want to do service happily and as instructed by you, not our own whimsical endeavors. The preceding deities of the elements, because of their devotion, had bodies spontaneously constructed by the Lord. This is how the prayers are completed. They could pray because by the will of the Lord, they temporarily they got the bodies, and those bodies will again disappear, and eventually later on through the via medium of Brahman, their bodies are again reconstructed. That will be mentioned in chapter 12. Chapter 12 talks of how their bodies are again reconstructed. But for now, somehow or other, by the will of the Lord, in order to express their hearts, Lord gave them the bodies with which they could speak out the essence of the Vedas and their desired seva opportunity, and then the bodies are disappear. This prayer is for the construction of other bodies. This is expressed in explained in Krama Sandarbha. So basically, they are asking that how do we construct the universe consisting of 7 layers? How do we construct the 14 planetary systems within the universe? And how do we construct the body of human beings, devatas, animals, asuras, gandharvas, kinnaras, kimpurushas, plants, reptiles, birds, animals, like every individual living entity. So please tell us what to do. That means please show us what to do, and please give us the potency to do it. Please give us the strength to do it. So something like that. Knowledge and power to carry out the instructions. So in that way. So this is how the Devata have expressed their desire to do some seva. Hare Krishna. Any questions?
Hare Krishna, Prabhuji. The last which you said, ki, the construction and all these is to be done, that is all carried out by Brahma, no?
No, Brahma is also there. No? One of the 14 devatas, Brahma himself is there.
Okay, okay, okay.
So yeah, Brahma is also praying.
Okay. Okay.
Because he prayed now, he will be empowered to do it afterwards. So like that. Yes, Prabhu.
In second canto, we hear that Lord Brahma was born from Garbhodaksha Vishnu. Is this all these 14 days, 14 devatas before the Garbhodaksha Vishnu manifested, like they are praying to Vishnu?
Yes, ना अभी तक गर्भदक्ष विष्णु का नाम कहाँ आया? Till now we only discussed that Mahavishnu glancing upon Maya Devi produced 24 elements and 14 devatas, and those 14 devatas are offering prayers to Mahavishnu. Now there was no Garbhodaksha Vishnu at all as of now.
So if Brahmaji is already in cognizant, then how come then when he came through the Garbhodaksha Vishnu was on ignorance, like he did tapasya and then he came to know that?
That he will do every day. Brahmaji does tapasya every day. It is routine tapasya. Just like every day morning we do Mangalarati, that is his Mangalarati.
Okay, so every day he do tapasya to get the knowledge and blessing of the God.
Obviously.
Okay.
It is a routine activity.
But bro, every day though the Brahma Lok and other higher planets, they don't get destroyed, right? Only the lower planets get destroyed.
Abhi, they will get destroyed or not, we will discuss in the 11th chapter. So now this is not the right time to discuss about them. That time we will discuss.
Okay, okay.
What happens then? Why Brahma has to do all those things? They will come in the 8th chapter. So that time also we will discuss. Okay, any other devotees? Okay, fine. So the devatas prayed. Now the Lord has to respond to their prayers. That we will see from chapter 6. In chapter 6, this chapter describes how when the Paramatma enters the empty universe, Paramatma means Garbhodaksha Vishnu enters the empty universe, the universal form appears along with the elements. The Adibhuta, Adhyatma and Adidaiva aspects in his body, the universal form, are described in this chapter. So in this chapter, we'll see the 4th description of the universal form. There are 3 universal forms already discussed in the 2nd canto. In the 1st chapter, in the 6th chapter, in the 10th chapter, 3 universal forms are described. Here in the 4th description of the universal form, the 5th description will be in the 26th chapter, and the 6th description will be in the 5th canto. So like that, multiple times the same universal form has been described, because the same universal form has multiple aspects, multiple functions to execute. So all those different functions are described in one way, one time. So that is understanding. These are all the old things, such a kind of summary. So in this chapter we have 40 verses, and we'll see how Mahavishnu, combining the 24 elements, creates unlimited Brahmandas and enters into each and every Brahmanda as Garbhodakshaya Vishnu, then creates the universal form so that the desire of the devatas can be fulfilled. They can facilitate the various activities of the living entities, performing Varnashrama duties and also Karma Yoga, Jnana Yoga, Ashtanga Yoga, and Bhakti Yoga as an offering to Supreme Lord. So like that. So let us start. Rishiruvacha
ऋषिरुवाच
iti tasam svashaktinam
इति तासां स्वशक्तीनां
satinam asametyasa
सतीनाम् असमेत्य स
prasupta lokatantranam
प्रक्षुप्ता लोकतन्त्राणां
nishamya gatimishvaraha
निशाम्य गतिमीश्वर
कालसंज्ञां तदा देवीं
कालसंज्ञां तदा देवीं
बिभ्रुशक्तिम् उरुक्रमः
विप्रशक्तिम् उरुक्रमः
त्रयोविंशतितत्त्वानां
त्रयोविंशतितत्त्वानां
गणं युगपदाविशत्.
गणं युगपदाविशत्. Translation. The Rishi Maitreya said, the Lord thus heard about the suspension of the progressive creation functions of the universe due to the non-combination of his potencies, such as the Mahatattva. The Supreme Powerful Lord then simultaneously entered into the 23 elements with the goddess Kali, his external energy, who alone amalgamates all the different elements.
Yeah, Maitreya is saying that seeing the sleeping state in creating the universe, because the elements were unmixed, Mahavishnu, the Lord, first by his energy of cohesion appearing through time, and then as Antaryami entered the 23 elements simultaneously. So he heard the prayers offered by the devatas. He understood that the creation has become stagnant. It has to go further. Having heard the prayers, then he manifested his energy known as Vibhru Shakti, the cohesive energy, which can bring and combine the 23 elements together. Trayo Vimshati Tattvanam, the 23 elements. And then the universes can be formed. So it is like that. The elements such as Mahatattva are called the Lord Shaktis, Swashaktinam, because they are the effect of his Maya Shakti. They all appeared from the Maya Shakti. Seeing the condition of the activities for creation in a sleeping state, nothing is happening. They are stopped. With a state of unmixed elements, the Lord supporting this energy, supporting Prakriti, whose identity becomes known by time, along with this Prakriti, entered into it. So basically, the Prakriti who expanded in herself in the form of these 23 elements, it has become stagnant. Nothing is happening further. So in order to help Prakriti manifest all the universes, the Lord entered as Vibhru Shakti into the 23 elements. Entering while holding Prakriti means that first he entered the elements by his energy causing cohesion, Vibhru Shakti, and then after 1,000 years, he entered the elements as Garbhodakshaya Vishnu. Paramatma means Garbhodakshaya Vishnu. So now let us see how this happens. Tat Srishtva Sada Evanu Pravishat. Having created the universe, the Lord entered it. So by entering into 23 elements as Vibhur Shakti, the Lord combined the 23 elements and created Brahmanda, and then he enters into that Brahmanda as Garbhodakshaya Vishnu. That is the meaning. The 23 elements are Mahatattva, Ahankara, 5 Tanmatras, 5 gross elements, and 11 senses. How many are there? 11 plus 5, 16, plus 5, 21, Ahankara, 22, Mahatattva, 23. So when it says Mahatattva, it includes both Chitta and Buddhi. Both Chitta and Buddhi are included and they are considered one together as one element. That's why there is a mention of 23. Otherwise, technically there are 24, but since these two are combined together as one element, they have become 23. In that way. Moola prakritir avikritir mahadadhya prakriti vikrutaya sapta षोडशकस्तु विकारो न prakritirna vikriti purushaha. It says that Moola Prakriti is unchanging. The Pradhana does not change. The transformations of Prakriti are 7. Mahatattva, Ahankara and 5 Tanmataras. So the transformations of Prakriti are 7. Mahatattva, Ahankara and 5 Tanmataras, which further transform into 16. 5 gross elements. From Ahankara in the mode of ignorance, there comes 5 gross elements. And Ahankara in the mode of passion, there comes 10 senses. From Ahankara in the mode of goodness, there comes the mind, the 11th sense. Thus, Prakriti remains separate and Purusha do not transform. So, this is as per Sankhya Karika by Ishvara Krishna. Ishvara Krishna is an Acharya who was given Sankhya Karika, the proper Sankhya system, so which explains about how the Moola Prakriti, which is unchanging, but transforms into the 23 elements. So in the 23 elements, Mahatattva is there, Ahankara is there, 5 Tanmatras are there, 5 gross elements are there, and 11 senses are there, which includes mind. So this is how the first verse says that as Bibru Shakti, the Lord entered into all these 23 elements with an intention to combine them. Did they combine? Yes, they are combined. That will be explained in the next verse. Hare Krishna, request everyone to pay attention because this is a little technical. So we'll try to do it. Sonu Pravishto Bhagavan.
Sonu Pravishto Bhagavan.
Chesta Rupena Tamganam.
Chesta Rupena Tamganam.
Pinnam Samyojayam Asa.
Pinnam Samyojayam Asa.
Suptam Karma Prabodhayan.
Suptam Karma Prabodhayan. Translation. Thus, when the personality of God had entered into the elements by his energy, all the living entities were enlivened into different activities, just as one is engaged in his work after awakening from sleep.
Yeah. The Lord entering by his Kriya Shakti and awakening the dormant karmas of the jivas combined the 23 elements together. By entering into those 23 elements as Bibru Shakti or Kriya Shakti, in order to awaken the dormant karmas of all the living entities, he first of all awakened the 23 elements so that they can be combined together. Previously, they were in sleep. The 23 elements were in sleep. That's what is mentioned in the previous verse. Now he awakened them by entering into them as Bibru Shakti, the cohesive energy. Chesta Rupena means by the Kriya Shakti, is energy of action. Karma refers to the actions of the jivas or their fate. So the elements which were sleeping after creation are woken up by this Bibru Shakti of the Lord, so that they can combine together, they can form unlimited universes, they can form the material bodies for the unlimited jivas with unlimited variety, so that all the jivas can start by beginning their activities for which they have come to this material world. So that is understanding. Prabuddha karma daivena.
Prabuddha karma daivena.
Trayo vimshatiko gana.
Trayo vimshatiko gana.
Prerito janayat swabhir.
Prerito janayat swabhir.
Matrabir or Adipurusham.
Matrabir Adipurusham. When the 23 principal elements were set in action by the will of the Supreme, the gigantic universal form or the Visvarupa body of the Lord came into existence.
The 23 elements awakening to action by the Kriya Shakti, Prabuddha Karma or Vibhru Shakti, being stimulated by the Lord, produced the universe. So they combined together and created the universe. Actually, their combination creates unlimited universes. Just like if you want to make a tepla in your home, you take 1 kg atta, maybe 300 ml water, little haldi, little jeera, little rai, little dhania patta, little methi patta, little this, little that. You add everything, all the different ingredients, and combine together. Then the dough is made. From the dough, you prepare maybe a 20-30 balls. 1 kg atta say you can prepare 20-30 balls easily, something like that. So by combining all these 24-23 elements by Bibiri Shakti, from that combination, the Lord manifested infinite number of material universes, material Brahmandas. Eventually, in each and every universe, there will appear a universal form. First, the universe is formed, then in each and every universe, after Garbhodakshaya Vishnu's entry, the universal form will be formed by their portions. But it is said that when the universe is formed in a physical way, within the universe, in a subtle way, the universal form also has manifested in the form of seed. Like a seed, the universal form also manifested in the within the universe, and outside the unlimited Brahmandas were formed, and all these Brahmandas were floating in the Karana ocean, where Mahavishnu is also floating. So that's how it happens. Prabuddha Karma means the elements were endowed with the Kriya Shakti. Matrabhi means by parts. Matrabhi means by parts. Adipurusham is the universal form. So all of you are following Mahavishnu by glancing upon Prakriti or Pradhana. He impregnated her with Kala Shakti and Jiva Shakti. The Jiva Shakti consists of Karma and Svabhava. By the interaction of the three modes of Prakriti with the Kala Shakti and Jiva Shakti, along with their Karma and Svabhava, there is a production of Mahatattva, Sutattva, Ahankara, the mind, the Buddhi, the Pranas, the Jnanendriyas, Karmendriyas, 5 Tanmatras, 5 Panchamahabhutas, all these elements were produced one after the other. And the respect to devatas, without understanding what to do and how to do, they offered prayers to the Lord. Then the Lord entered into all these 24 elements as Vibhur Shakti and combined them. By that combination, there appeared unlimited Brahmandas, unlimited universes, which are also called unlimited Hiranyandas also. And all these universes are floating in the Karana ocean. And within each and every universe, the universal form also kind of manifested in a subtle way, as a seed, not physical way, complete, but as a seed it manifested. So with the universal form as a seed in a subtle way inside the universal shell, all the Brahmandas, which are nothing but the golden universal shells, it is basically an empty shell. Inside everything is empty, like a tennis ball, like a cricket ball. Huh? So which has a outer shell, but inside nothing, empty shell. When you throw into the water, it will float in the water. It will never sink because inside there is emptiness. So in that way, it is simply Brahmanda means a simply golden universal shell consisting of 7 universal shells made up of earth, water, fire, and ether, Ahankara, and Mahatattva. Inside it is all empty, and hence they are all floating in the Karana Sagara. But inside that empty area, there is a universal form in a subtle way as a seed, not manifested yet. So this is the understanding. And what happened now? परेण विशता स्वस्मिन्
परेण विचता स्वस्मिन्
मात्रया विश्वसृगणा
मात्रया विश्वभृगणः
चुक्षोभान्योन्यमासाद्य
चुक्षोभान्यान्यन्यशद्य
यस्मिन् लोकश्चराचरः.
यस्मिन् लोकश्चराचरः. Translation. As the Lord in his plenary portion entered into the elements of the universal creation, they transform into gigantic form in which all the plenary system and all movable and immovable creations rest.
Then what happened? As all the universes, Brahmandas were floating on the causal ocean, the elements for creating the universe combined together by the Lord who had entered by his portion as Vibhu Shakti formed a fetus in which all the planets and living entities exist. So basically, it means the same thing what we discussed in the previous verse, same thing. By the combination of the same 23 elements, there appeared unlimited Brahmandas which were floating in the causal ocean. But inside those Brahmandas, there is a fetus, there is a seed. That seed eventually will manifest in the form of the universal form, consisting of the 14 planetary systems and unlimited variety of living entities. Yasmin Loka Chara Achara. Loka means 14 planetary systems. Chara and Chara means all the moving and immovable living entities. They all manifest within that universe eventually. That is understanding. This verse shows how the universal form was generated. The elements which comprise creation combining together by the Supreme Lord, who had entered into them by his portion, Matraya as Garbhodaksha Vishnu, assuming a condition where their main qualities manifested, became transformed into a fetus, the subtle universal form. So this will be mentioned in the next verse when Garbhodaksha Vishnu will enter into the universe, but it is already indicated in this verse. Basically, when the fetus will manifest, so when Mahavishnu enters into the 24 elements as Vibhur Shakti, they come together and they form all the Brahmandas, and they are all floating in the Karna ocean. How long they will float? They will float for 1000 years. After 1000 years, they float on the water. Then Mahavishnu expands as Garbhodaksha Vishnu, enters into each and every universe. With his entry, the fetus takes birth. Matlab, the fetus manifests, consisting of 14 planetary systems and also unlimited variety of living entities. So this chapter will talk about how, in a subtle way, everything manifests within that fetus, within that universal form. But later on in the 8th chapter, we will see physically how that universal form manifests outside. Especially in the 8th chapter, we'll see that how the 14 planetary systems will be manifested from the lotus, in the form of lotus, coming out of the navel of Garbhodaksha Vishnu. But here in this chapter, in a subtle way, how different abodes are manifested for different living entities. Nothing physical yet, but the subtle manifestation is already there in the seed, in the fetus, which yet to take a grass form. The grass form will be explained in the 8th chapter. So like that. So that is the understanding of the fetus. Fetus means the seed, the subtle universal form, which manifests as soon as Garbhodaksha Vishnu enters into the universe. After 1000 years, the universe is floating on the universe floated on the Karna ocean. That is mentioned in this verse. Hiranmaya sa purusha
Hiranyamaya Purusha
sahasra parivastaran
Sahasra Parivatsaran
andakosha uvasapsu
Andakosa Vasapsu
Sarvasattvopabrahmita.
Sarvasattvopabrahmita.
Okay, I'll go through this. This is the continuation of the previous verse. The golden universal form, containing all the resting jivas, remained in the waters within the universe for 1,000 years. The fetus, which manifested in the form of the subtle universal form, remained in that water for 1,000 years. It did not manifest the complete subtle universal form. It is there in the form of a seed for 1,000 years inside the universal shell. That is understanding. So this verse has two meanings. We will see what are the two meanings. The golden universal form or the totality of the universe, Samishti Virat. Basically, for the universe means all the 14 planet systems consisting of all the variety of living entities. That is our universal form, our universe. That is all there in the subtle form. That is called Samishti Virat. The entire universe is there in the subtle form. That is called Samishti Virat. In that way. He, the golden universal form, the Garbhodaksha, which is going to manifest from Garbhodaksha Vishnu, made up of 14 planetary systems, remained in the waters of Garbhodaka ocean, which is within the shell of the universe. By the Bibri Shakti, when the 23 elements are combined together, they formed unlimited Brahmandas and they are floating in the Karana ocean. They floated for 1,000 years. In those 1,000 years, the subtle universal form, the seed form, it is there inside the universe. Wherein, after 1,000 years of floating like this, Garbhodakshaya Vishnu will enter into the universe and immediately the seed will expand in the form of a huge tree in a subtle way, not grass way as of now. It will manifest in the grass way in the 8th chapter. But in this chapter, only in the subtle way, when Garbhodakshaya Vishnu enters into the universe after 1,000 years, the seed will become the tree in a subtle way. But before that, the seed is lying dormant for 1,000 years inside the universe. So this is one meaning of this verse. There is another meaning of the verse is he, Samishti Virat, Mahavishnu or Karmadaksha Vishnu, remained in the universe which was in the Karana water as Garbhodakshayi. He was filled with the jivas who were resting. So basically, another meaning of Samishti Virat is that the Mahavishnu, who is the original creator, he entered into the universe as Garbhodakshaya Vishnu and he remained in the universe as long as the universe is floating in the Karana ocean. That is understanding. Thus, and he was filled with the jivas who were resting. And when Garbhodakshaya Vishnu enters into the universe, all the jivas are resting in him. All the 14 lokas are also resting in him. But he creates them. He manifests them. So in that way, eventually. So it is like that. So basically the understanding is that after the Brahmandas are created, all the Brahmandas are floating in the Karana ocean for 1,000 years. While doing so, the subtle universal form as a seed is there within the universe. Then Garbhodakshaya Vishnu enters into each and every universe. Then the seed expands at the subtle universal form. And then Garbhodakshaya Vishnu creates the grass universal form in the 8th chapter. So that is like that. Grass universal form means the 14 planetary systems which appear from the lotus. Garbhodakshaya Vishnu will create a lotus flower. From that the 14 planetary systems will come. That will be explained in the 8th and 10th chapters. But now it explains that the subtle universal form, which abode is meant for whom, who will be staying in which abode, what they are going to do, the subtle part is manifested here in this chapter. The same thing, whatever we have discussed in the previous 6 verses, was also mentioned in the 2nd canto 5th chapter, in text number 32, 33, which all of you have already studied. Oh, best of the Brahmanas, as long as the gross elements, senses, mind were not mixed together, it was not possible for them to produce material bodies. coming together by the impulse of the Lord's cohesive energy, accepting primary and secondary forms, they created a body, the body of the whole universe, that is Brahmanda, and they will also create the bodies of the individual jivas within the Brahmanda. The same 24 elements combining together created the universe. They will create the 14 planet systems within the universe. They will create the human body, animal body, plant body, devata body, asura body, rishi body, etc. That all they will do because they are empowered so by the Supreme Lord. Hare Krishna, able to follow all of you?
Yes, Prabhuji.
Yes.
Prabhuji, I have a question. Why 1,000 years are mentioned, and 1,000 years means our 1,000 years or Brahmaji's 1,000 years?
I think our 1,000 years, not Brahmaji 1,000 years. Brahmaji himself lives for 100 years. See, when scripture without if it does not say whose year, that means it is our human years only.
Okay, but
Okay.
why this much break was there?
No, it's okay na. In the beginning of the creation, what was the hurry? So धीरे धीरे हो जाता है.
Okay, Prabhuji. Hari.
So sometimes some gap is given because for Mahavishnu 1,000 years is nothing. It is very small time. For us it may look okay. Itna bada time, itna long time. But from Mahavishnu's point of view, 1,000 years is nothing. So like that we should take.
Okay, Prabhuji.
Then after 32, 33, the second canto, 5th chapter, there is again a mention. Varshapuga sahasrante tadandam udakeshayam kala karma sabhavasto jivo jivam ajivayat. After 1,000 years, the Purusha, the soul of the mass of Jiva, Hiranyagarbha, the Lord, situated in time, karma and sabhava, one who gives life, brought to life the non-living universe, which was lying in the water of Karna ocean. While the Brahmanda was floating in the Karana ocean for 1,000 years long, then Karmadakshaya Vishnu, expanding himself as Garbhodakshaya Vishnu, entered into each and every universe as its Paramatma. Till now, the universe remained as a dead universe. It does not do anything. It does not know what to do also. But as soon as Paramatma, Garbhodakshaya Vishnu, enters into the universe, the action begins. The life comes and action begins. That is the understanding. So then what happened? How, after the entry of Garbhodakshaya Vishnu, how the action began? That will be explained from section number 7 onwards. Savai, okay, Madhav Mishra Prabhu, please.
Hare Krishna, Prabhuji. Prabhuji, you mentioned about the subtle universal form. No? So will you clarify more about that subtle universal form?
This entire chapter is about subtle universal form only. In this chapter, we are going to discuss about subtle universal form. In chapter 8 and 10, we will discuss about the gross universal form.
Okay, Prabhuji.
Okay. Savai Vishwasrujam Garbo. Okay, who is that?
Garbo.
Some more devotee raise the hands. Okay, you only. Okay, fine. Deva Karmatma Shaktiman.
Deva Karmatma Shaktiman.
Viva Bhajatmanatmanam.
Vibhabhajatmanatmanam.
Ekada Dashada Trida.
Ekada Dasada Trita. Translation. The total energy of the Mahatattva in the form of the gigantic Virant Rupa divided himself by himself into the consciousness of the living entities, the life of activity, and self-identification, which are subdivided into 1, 10, and 3 respectively.
The fetus, composed of the 23 elements, endowed with Jiva Shakti, Prana Shakti, Atma Shakti, divided itself up into 1, 10, and 3 parts by its own powers. So basically, the seed which was lying lifeless for 1,000 years, then as soon as Paramatma, the Garbhodakshaya Vishnu, enters into the universe, the seed becomes activated. How does it get activated? The seed immediately divided into three parts. One part is known as Jiva Shakti, consisting of one part. The second part is Prana Shakti, consisting of 10 divisions. The third part is Atma Shakti, consisting of 3 divisions, 3 subdivisions. The one seed divided into 3 different energies known as Jiva Shakti, Prana Shakti, and Atma Shakti, and each Shakti further has so many subcomponents. This is the action. Now action began. As soon as the Paramatma enters in, as soon as Garbhodakshaya Vishnu enters into the universe, action began. So in this chapter, we are going to discuss about these 3 Shaktis. What do you mean by Jiva Shakti having only one part? What do you mean by Prana Shakti having 10 parts? What do you mean by Atma Shakti having 3 parts? These are the things will be explained in the chapter 6. In order to produce the organs such as mouth on this form, first the 3 Shaktis are described. The fetus, the result of the combined elements, was endowed with Jiva Shakti, Prana Shakti, and Adhyatma Shakti. Deva, Karma, Atma Shakti Nam. Deva Shakti means Jiva Shakti, Karma Shakti means Prana Shakti, and Atma Shakti means Adhyatma, Adi Bhautika, Adi Daivika, 3 Shaktis. So like that. He, Visvarsujam Garbha, divided himself up by himself. Basically, the fetus, as soon as Paramatma entered into that fetus, the fetus divides into 3 parts, consisting of Jiva Shakti, Atma Shakti, and Prana Shakti. So they are Jiva Shakti. The Jiva Shakti is known as Hiranyagarbha. 10 Prana Shaktis. There are 10 pranas in the human body. And 3 Atma Shaktis known as Adibhuta, Adhyatma, and Adi Dhaiva. All these things are slowly manifested. Now the rest of the chapter is all about how these 3 Shaktis are manifested. That is what is the subtle universal form. Of course, that starts from text number 11 onwards, but still the introductory portion is going on. Eshai Ashesha Sattvanam
एष हि अशेषसत्त्वानाम्
Atmasha Paramatmana
आत्मश परमात्मना
Adyovatara Yatrasau
आद्योऽवतारो अत्रासो
Bhutagramo Vibhavyate.
भूतग्रामो विभाव्यते. The gigantic universal form of the Supreme Lord is the first incarnational plenary portion of the Supreme Soul, Super Soul. He is the self of an unlimited number of living entities, and in him rests the aggregate creation, which thus flourishes.
So now, continuing from the previous verse, this form of the soul of unlimited beings, this form is the soul of the unlimited beings. Eshai Atma Ashesha Sattvanam. Basically, Garbhodakshaya Vishnu is the Paramatma of all the living entities. That is understanding. Garbhodakshaya Vishnu is the Paramatma of the entire universe, consisting of all the variety of living entities. It is the Jiva in relation to Paramatma. Now, the soul of unlimited beings, the soul, it is the Jiva in relation to Paramatma. Garbhodakshaya Vishnu is Paramatma. The Atma Shakti, which is mentioned, the Jiva Shakti, which is mentioned in the previous verse, which is called Hiranyagarbha, is the soul in relation to Garbhodakshaya Vishnu, who is the Paramatma. Hiranyagarbha is nothing but, or Jiva Shakti is nothing but the combination of all the living entities, starting from the blade of grass all the way up to Lord Brahma, everyone put together in one universe. They are called as Jiva Shakti or Hiranyagarbha, and they are soul. They all put together are called soul in relation to the Paramatma, Garbhodakshaya Vishnu. It is seen as the original avatara. Within this form, all living beings appear. So it is like that. This Hiranyagarbha is like the soul of unlimited beings, and it is Jiva in relation to the Paramatma, the Garbhodakshaya Vishnu, and it is the original avatara within the universe. And within this form, all living beings will appear eventually. That's why it is called the subtle universal form. So actually here, this form is referring to Hiranyagarbha. This Hiranyagarbha is the soul of unlimited beings. And he is the Jiva in relation to the Paramatma, the Garbhodakshaya Vishnu. And he is the original avatara, and from him all the living entities will appear eventually. For purifying the art of the worshippers of Paramatma, this form should first be worshipped. Yes, Mataji, I will take your question. I saw you. So this form, Hiranyagarbha, is the Atma of unlimited beings. Since the individual Atmas are parts of this form. This form is the Jiva belonging to Paramatma, the Garbhodakshaya Vishnu. Since the Paramatma enters into the universe and enlivens the Hiranyagarbha, the Atma Shakti. This form, Hiranyagarbha, the subtle universal form, is the original avatara because the yogis meditate on this form, being one with its Antaryami, the Paramatma. All creatures such as devatas, men, and animals manifest within this form, Bhuta Grama. So it is like that. So basically, kindly understand this. The fetus, the seed, which was lying within the universe for 1000 years, after the entry of Garbhodakshaya Vishnu, starts manifesting its various actions. First of all, it expands into 3 different Shaktis. Jiva Shakti, Prana Shakti, and Atma Shakti. Jiva Shakti means it transforms itself, it manifests all the living entities in the form of Hiranyagarbha. And this Hiranyagarbha is the soul of unlimited Jivas. It is Jiva in relation to Paramatma Garbhodakshaya Vishnu. It is the original avatara within the universe, and it is from which all the living entities such as the devatas, humans, and animals will manifest. So these are the various characteristics of the Hiranyagarbha are mentioned in this verse. Yes, Sagondi Mataji.
Hare Krishna Prabhuji, I have 2 questions. One is in Shloka 7, where in the translation it is given that he divides the consciousness in of all the jivas. He divides himself by himself into the consciousness of living entities. So does it mean that the living entities are all one consciousness, one entity, and then the Lord divides them into so many various entities?
No, not like that. No, it is not about living entities, consciousness and all. The fetus, which was there in the universe by the entry of Paramatma, gets divided into 3 parts. That division takes place itself only. There is no one coming from outside and cutting it into 3 parts. That is
that's correct. In the conscious, it divides himself into the consciousness of the living entity. So Paramatma is the consciousness of living entity. That is the meaning of it?
No, not like that. Forget it. See, don't see like that. Just we'll see what it means, and we'll understand later on in the future verses. So instead of let us see point by point. Currently, it is like that. The fetus is there.
In the current verse, I have a question. You are saying Hiranyagarbha is the jiva of Paramatma. Can you explain that a bit?
See, we are soul. We as a soul living in the heart, and within our heart there is Paramatma also.
Yes.
Okay, like that. If we consider the entire universe as the body, within that entire universe, there is Hiranyagarbha, who is considered as Jiva or Jivatma.
Okay.
And the Paramatma for the universe is Garbhodakshaya Vishnu. It's like that.
Okay. Hiranyagarbha is Jiva and Paramatma is Garbhodakshaya Vishnu. Okay.
Here Hiranyagarbha is the combination of all the living entities.
Okay.
Later on, we will say that in the 8th chapter, we will go one step ahead. Because in the 8th chapter, we will see Brahma appear from the top of the lotus flower. There we will go one step ahead, that saying that the lotus flower on which Brahma appeared. That lotus flower will be divided into 14 divisions and 14 planet systems are created. The 14 planet systems are considered to be the gross body. And all the living entities that are living all over the 14 planet systems, all the Atmas put together, are considered to be the subtle body, the subtle universal body. Or, to be more precise, the 14 planetary systems made from the lotus flower is considered to be the gross universal form. All the jivas who are living all over the universe is considered to be the subtle universal form, which is also called as Hiranyagarbha. The previous one is called Vairaja. And all the living entities are combined to the called Hiranyagarbha. And the leader of all the living entities, the first created being, Lord Brahma, is the soul of entire universe. And Garbhodakshaya Vishnu is the Paramatma of the entire universe. So that is indicated in the 8th chapter. But here in this chapter, Hiranyagarbha himself is considered to be the soul of the entire universe. It also says that this is the form of the soul of unlimited beings, and it is the jiva in relation to Paramatma, and from this comes all the living entities. All the jivas come from this only. So like that. So basically we are slowly evolving in the presentation. So in that way.
Prabhuji, Hare Krishna. Hiranyagarbha is Paramatma for all living entities. At the same time, he is Jiva for Garbhodakshaya.
No. Please. Hiranyagarbha is not Paramatma, Mataji.
Garbhodakshaya
Hiranyagarbha means it is a combination of all jivatmas in the universe. Paramatma is always Garbhodakshaya Vishnu only.
Yeah.
Garbhodakshaya Vishnu is always Paramatma. Hiranyagarbha is combination of all the jivatmas, and hence it is considered as jivatma here. Paramatma is Garbhodakshaya Vishnu and jivatma is Hiranyagarbha.
Okay, Prabhuji.
So Hiranyagarbha means the combination of all the jivas that are going to take birth and perform activities in the universe. So before they are divided into different parts, the Hiranyagarbha is considered to be the soul of the entire universe. Something like that. But later on when it starts dividing, that time Brahma is considered to be the soul of the universe, and all the other living entities considered to be the subtle universal form, the subtle body of the entire universe. And the 14 planetary systems are considered to be the gross body of the entire universe. Brahma is the Jivatma and Garbhodakshaya Vishnu is the Paramatma. But as of now, since there is no manifestation of all the Jivas yet in the physical way, so the Hiranyagarbha is considered to be the Jivatma of the entire universe. And Garbhodakshaya Vishnu is the Paramatma of the entire universe. So it is like that. Any other devotee has any question?
Prabhuji, actually परमात्मा रेफर करते हैं हम क्षीरोदक्षाय विष्णु को, बट इधर
See, Prabhuji, see, I am telling again and again, Garbhodakshaya Vishnu is the Paramatma of the entire universe. Kshirodakshaya Vishnu is the Paramatma of individual living entities. Follow the terminology. अभी तक इंडिविजुअल लिविंग एंटिटीज का शरीर बनाया नहीं, परमात्मा कहां से आएगा?
ओके
काइंडली फॉलो. Kshirodakshaya Vishnu is the Paramatma of individual living entity. Garbhodakshaya Vishnu is the Paramatma of one universe. Karanodakshaya Vishnu is the Paramatma of Prakriti, the Pradhana. It is like that.
Hare Krishna, Prabhuji.
Prabhuji, quickly.
Yeah, Prabhuji, is in this the Parikshit Maharaj ne ये second canto में ये asked this Vishwarup and Lord also described this. Again, this chapter also describing. So what are the difference and why they are asking the same thing again and again?
See, you should tell me the answer. In the second canto also, there were 3 universal forms. Are the 3 forms are same or they have different aspects?
Externally, it is same because they are describing only this full, all these 24 elements they are creating, and then they're
No, externally, internally, they are not. They may appear to be same, but they are different. Every time a different aspect has been presented. The universal form has multi-faced personality. So every face has been described one time. What has been described in the previous canto will be different from what is described here in this canto. They are different aspects of the same universal form. They are not same.
okay.
If somebody
Okay.
asks you to describe about a great personality, how can you describe? If somebody asks you to describe about Narendra Modi, what do you say? If you say the Prime Minister of India, is it complete description?
No, you can give the personality.
There are multiple aspects of that personality.
Yeah.
So one aspect is explained one time. So something like that. So it is like that. Okay. Anyway, we'll stop here with this verse. I thought we'll go up to 10, but no problem. We'll discuss next week. But any other questions from any other devotee?
Prabhuji, Hare Krishna.
Yes.
Prabhuji, that in the first creation, that Karnodakshayi Vishnu's creation, that Karan Shakti, Kriya Shakti, Dravya Shakti, and Jnana Shakti are not defined. They are not defined.
No. From Ahankara, when the Ahankara divides into three parts, they are endowed with Jnana Shakti, Kriya Shakti, and Dravya Shakti. The Satvik Ahankara has Jnana Shakti, the Rajasic Ahankara has Kriya Shakti, Tamasic Ahankara has Dravya Shakti.
Achha, that's all.
There is one verse, Prabhupada quotes always this, Natasya Karyam Karanam Chavidate, Natastamastapyadikam Budrishyate, Parastaktir Vidasyate, Swabhaviki Jnana Balakriyacha. For the purpose of material creation, maintenance, and annihilation, though Lord has many energies, but these three energies come forward and do all the activities. Swabhaviki Jnana Balakriyacha. Jnana Shakti, Bala Shakti, and Kriya Shakti. Jnana Shakti is Jnana Shakti in the mode of goodness. Kriya Shakti is in the mode of passion. And Bala Shakti means Dravya Shakti, which is in the mode of ignorance. These three are the prominent energies which will take care of all the things that are happening in the universe.
Okay. Okay, Prabhuji. Thank you.
Okay. Thank you very much for joining today. We'll stop here. I have another class too, which I supposed to start at 1 o'clock only. Already time ho gaya. So Grantara Srimad Bhagavatam ki jai.
Jai.
Prabhupada ki jai. Ananta Koti Vaishnava ki jai.
Dandavat Pranam, Prabhuji. Thank you so much.
Hare Krishna. Thank you.